Welcome to the Philosopher's Edition, where timeless thinkers meet modern-day imposter syndrome. Let's uncover the wisdom behind their doubts. The Perfectionist, Leonardo da Vinci. Who is he? Leonardo da Vinci, the ultimate Renaissance man, painter, inventor, engineer, and more. The struggle. Even with all his talent, Leonardo was a classic perfectionist. He rarely finished his work because he believed it was never perfect enough. He once said, "Art is never finished, only abandoned." A real example. Let's take his famous painting, The Last Supper. He worked on it between the years of 1495 and 1498. But even during that time, he kept revising it. He spent forever trying to capture the perfect reactions of each apostle when Jesus said, "One of you will betray me." That scene nearly drove him mad. What this tells us: perfectionists often delay or ditch projects because they don't feel good enough, even when the world sees genius. How he could have coped? Leonardo could have reminded himself that progress over perfection is still powerful. Finishing imperfect work is often more impactful than perfect work no one ever sees. Tool to use? Try this mantra. Done is better than perfect. Focus on the message, not just the masterpiece. Stay tuned for the next imposter type, the expert. The expert. Socrates. Who he was. Socrates was a 5th century before Christ era Greek philosopher foundational to Western ethics and epistemology, known for his method of questioning rather than providing direct answers. The struggle? Socrates famously said, "I know that I know nothing," a statement that reveals how even brilliant minds feel insufficient. This echoes the expert imposter type, those who never feel knowledgeable enough. A real example? Instead of boasting knowledge, Socrates engaged others in questions to help them find truth. This humility gave him power, but also showed his discomfort with claiming expertise. What this tells us: the wisest people know their limits. They aren't ashamed, they're curious. How he could have coped? By seeing ignorance not as failure, but as the foundation of wisdom, something he lived by. Tool to use? Flip "I don't know enough" into "I'm still learning," and that's a strength. Stay tuned for our next imposter syndrome type, the natural genius. The natural genius. Albert Einstein. Who he was. Einstein, the revolutionary physicist behind the theory of relativity, reshaped modern science and won the 1921 Nobel Prize in Physics. The struggle? He once said, "The exaggerated esteem in which my life work is held makes me very ill at ease. I feel compelled to think of myself as an involuntary swindler." This is textbook natural genius imposter syndrome. Success came too easily, so it must be fake. A real example? Despite his brilliance, Einstein was slow to talk as a child and struggled in traditional school. He later felt disconnected from his genius reputation. What this tells us: being gifted doesn't make you immune to doubt, especially if others label you as a prodigy. How he could have coped? By recognizing that true genius isn't instant. It's built through persistence, curiosity, and even failure. Tool to use? Celebrate effort. Shift the focus from speed or ease to how deeply you engage with your craft. Stay tuned for the next imposter syndrome type, the soloist. The soloist.
Simone de Beauvoir.
Who she was. De Beauvoir, born in 1908, was a French philosopher and feminist whose book, The Second Sex Challenge, Societal Views on Women's Roles and Autonomy. The struggle? She was fiercely independent and valued her intellectual autonomy, hallmarks of the soloist imposter type, who fear asking for help equals weakness. A real example? De Beauvoir insisted on writing and researching alone, especially when tackling heavy subjects like womanhood and existential freedom. What this tells us: autonomy is powerful, but isolation can amplify self-doubt. How she could have coped: by realizing that seeking support doesn't compromise independence, it can enhance it. Tools to use: practice collaborative brainstorming or peer review, not for validation, but for growth. Stay tuned for our last imposter type in this edition, the Superperson overachiever. The Superperson. René Descartes, or as the French would say, René Descartes. Who he was. Descartes, the 17th century French philosopher and mathematician, is known for cogito ergo sum, in parentheses, I think therefore I am, close parentheses, and laid the groundwork for rationalism. The struggle? He held himself to extreme standards across philosophy, math, and science, hallmarks of the superperson imposter type, those who believe they must master everything or they're not enough. A real example? Descartes locked himself away for years trying to build a complete, perfect system of knowledge from scratch, feeling unworthy unless he did it all. What this tells us: even geniuses can push themselves too hard trying to be everything at once. How he could have coped? By embracing rest and focusing on progress, not perfection. Tool to use: use structured rest and goal-setting tools. Perfection is built brick by brick, not all at once. So you see, even the greatest minds had their doubts. So remember, your growth matters more than your perfection. I'll see you tomorrow. Hey, my future imposter survivors. Would you like to work with me? Send me a message through hookedonbasic@gmail.com. Talk to you soon. Oh, and check out my latest interview with the Savant podcast with Christopher Richards. He's so awesome. And the legendary Neil Haley. I placed a link in the description box below. I hope you enjoyed.